Just as the food comes out, so I guess they really want to ruin your meal today. I wrote a little something. I'm going to try to skip through it a little bit, but the Stink is my alter ego. I'm an actor, and I changed my name to Stink at some point because there was no two names in the business. So Tom Cruise was Tom Cruise. You couldn't have another one. So I tried every version of my name, and finally Stink stuck. So there you go. I was born into and raised in a crazy household on the west side of Cherry Hill, west side. At any given moment, there could have been show tunes or Irish folk music blaring, my mom dressed up in a full frock costume, head and all, or any one of my siblings creating havoc in their own special way. My house was a test tube for creativity, individuality, and insanity. My mom's background was dance. She worked in the music industry. Dad's was in anything sports, theater, writing. He had directed 17 musicals at Cherry Hill West. There was a lot going on, but through it all, when it came down to bare bones, this was a house of football. For Dad was also a high school football coach, and Mom was our backyard tackling dummy. Dad played both ways at Ben Franklin High, went to Temple, had an offer to play for the Baltimore Colts, but he declined, because who would want to block for Johnny Unitas? My older brother played for Dad at Cherry Hill West. My sister was a cheerleader. It was around this time that I had my first game of Pop Warner, where my dad, observing me on the field, picking up rocks and throwing them as the play was being run around me, looked at my mom and said, well, he's never going to be a player, I'm going to go coach. And he walked back up to West Field and he coached the team. But somewhere between that moment and the following year, I figured something out. I loved football. I loved hitting, and I loved being hit. I loved inflicting fear on my opponents. I loved laying on the hit. And most importantly, I loved being part of a team. I was bigger, faster, stronger than many of my teammates and opponents, and that was only going to increase in the upcoming years. But I was a wild child growing up. Gave my parents a run, and my brother and sister, as I progressed through my years, my brother and sister recognized that going to school with Dad might not be a real good thing. So at some point in time, they pulled me aside and said, look, Dad coaches and he teaches in the district, so you have an option. You can go to East or West. We really think you should go to East because we got away with nothing at West. We got caught with everything that we did. So I molded over and I chose East. I didn't know it at the time, but this was a life-altering decision that would affect me to this very day. Not only did I meet my family, my best friends for life, but I was also going to eventually be coached by none other than my dad. I don't know if many or any of you here today have ever had the chance to play for a parent outside of Little League or Pop Warner, etc. But it doesn't end at practice. It follows you home. It's part of the daily fabric that is woven into your life, especially when that parent is your position coach. I give you all this backstory for the sole purpose of explaining who I am and what made me today. Football is the game of life, Dad would always say. Every moment is not only a coachable moment, but a life lesson to be learned. Dad coached with a fire, a ferocity unmatched. And he always said to that point, you can't coach that. You either have it in you, or you don't. I had it in me. Luckily, I played the game at every level with an intensity and a desire to win that still drives me to this day. I refuse to be beat, I refuse to lose, I refuse to let my brothers down. Good segue here, and I'll be quick, and I'm sorry for taking up so much time. No one player is ever better than his team and his teammates. For sure, there are many great players that stand out, but there is no I in team. You're only as good as your other 10 guys that are out there on the field with you, or girls. I was extremely fortunate to play with a fierce lot. Howard Macon, Greg Casamento, Dave Turnover, the Foleys, Teddy Page, Rich DiVenero, Eric Bradbill, Jeremy Trinidad, Lou Hanel. These are just a handful of teammates, friends, that helped to shape me, hone my skills, and instill a sense of family on and off that field that will last a lifetime. I played for me, I played for Mom and Dad, but most of all, I played for them. And I played for coaches. Man, did we have some good ones. Bo Wood, Jim Peeler, Dave Grubb, Griffenberg, Frank McAleer, and of course Dad. And I know I've left some names out and I apologize, but I'm going to wrap this up. I played angry, I was aggressive, many times shoving a teammate out of the way. I would crush the opposing player with the ball. Yeah, I know there's no I in team, but if I could make that stop 1 or 2 yards quicker than someone else, I was going to do it. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, as an adult, I'm going off book here. As an adult, I got to coach my children in Little League. They're not athletes, they're musicians. Thank God, because they'll have good knees. But I never felt so much pride and so much worth as to be able to teach my children something and then see them go out and have success on their own. That is what it was all about. And at that moment, when I started doing that with my children, I realized exactly what my dad must have felt with me way back in 84, 85, 86, and 87 when I was on that field driving him crazy. And that he was able to watch me find success. And that's what it's all about. And if he was here today, I know that it would put him over the moon to see me up here receiving this award. I know my mom is, I am, and my boys are, and my aunt who's with me as well. And I just want to thank the committee. I'm sorry for taking so much time. You put an actor up here, guys. You know, I mean, give me a microphone, I could go for 3 hours, as long as there's a lunch break. And Mr. Cost, I'm sorry, I did not do it. Just don't do it. But I thank you all very much. Thank the committee. And congratulations to all the other inductees.